Alright guys, excuse my absence as always, and but what I'm talking about today is bravery and I guess fears as well. So I've been thinking a lot about how fears are so unique because people have said to me that certain things that I've done, certain choices that I've made have been extremely brave, and that's so brave of you, that's so cool that you did that. And sometimes for me, some of those things don't seem like they required that much courage necessarily. And I was just thinking, well, a fear for one person doesn't equal a fear for the next person. And so because fears are so unique, obviously so too bravery over those fears would also be a very unique and personal experience. And I mean, something you view as an incredible feat may be less challenging for someone else. And only you know the precise perimeter of your comfort zone, and only you feel deep in your heart what you truly need to do to force those walls to grow wider. And I mean, it's straightforward. It's not easy. It is simple in terms, but it's not easy to actually execute, because only through like consistent efforts and energy and lots of willpower and bold choices will you continue to live bravely. And I think that's where the separation is. That's where the emphasis should be, because it's not about being brave, because you are, I am, we are all brave. I think that we all have a great capacity for acts of bravery, but we don't always live bravely. And I mean, why would we settle for simply having the potential when you could actually use it for your own growth and enjoyment and accomplishment? It seems so silly, yet this is something that I've been struggling so much with lately, is making brave, hard choices, doing hard things. Not things that are like physically challenging or just a little bit mentally straining or just require a certain amount of, mental exertion, but I mean, taking big, bold steps in your life to steer yourself in the direction that your heart is drawing you. Because I think those things are so scary, because there are so many sentiments surrounding it, and maybe there's so much at stake because there's so much that we could be let down by. Maybe we're afraid of being let down, our hopes not being fulfilled. I don't know. I think that more often than not, it's about renewing your bravery, that inherent bravery, because we need to keep it fresh and well practiced. And for me, it's just taking that leap, and then hopefully using that movement and that forward momentum to propel you into the next leap of faith until you are frequently and consistently challenging yourself. I mean, safely that is, of course, but I just want to be immersed. I want to get rid of the comfortability aspect of the comfort. I want to just be completely overwhelmed by new experiences that arise when you really, really take chances and you just kind of trust that the universe is on your side. I want us all to try to do the thing which you're terrified to do, because it's those things that are like so terrifying to us, and yet there's this potential for such great excitement and liveliness. Those are the things that we need to do. Like, I, for one, I'm just sick of feeling like I still have training wheels on. Sorry for that strange comparison, but like, yes, like I'm moving forward, I'm enjoying the ride, but yet something still hinders me from going all in and taking the chance to do the thing that I need to do and I want to do for me. That may sound selfish, but yeah, sometimes you need to do things for you. You need to know you as a human, and you need to have a sense of self or discover a sense of self, assert that sense of self, and really live it out and fulfill that. That's okay. I want to take off all the guardrails and I want to see what the full force of the wind feels like against my face, you know? And I want to see how far I can travel when I don't put any restraints. I don't allow any restraints to be put upon me, I guess. It's probable that we all have passions and talents which we've never even discovered, and I don't think that we ever will if we're always living comfortably, or if we're just always living with the potential for bravery inside of us and not acting upon it. That's a disservice to ourselves and to the other people that we might interact with, and to the places we would encounter, and experiences that will be cherished and relationships that will be built. I mean, I want to be comfortable in the discomfort, and I want to get familiar with the formerly unfamiliar. And yes, it is so scary, but also it's so enticing. And that's why I keep coming back to this, because it's things that I know I need to do, and I keep putting them off. And I'm just sick of that. I just want to make a change, and maybe this will resonate with some of you as well. Or maybe it's something that you'll need in the future and doesn't really ring true right now. But unfortunately, I've just been getting complacent in the routine and the rigmarole of life. But I mean, that's not necessarily life. It's just my current calendar of, recurring responsibilities and occasional, miscellaneous things here and there. But I mean, I can change that, can't I? Yeah. Each habit and routine had a starting point. It had a point of establishment. It had an origin. So maybe it's time to shake things up. Perhaps my boredom, at least sometimes, is just a feeling that arises because I'm too scared to do the thing that I know I should be doing. And that hit me hard, because it was so true. It was so spot on. And we as humans, we hunger for more and more and bigger and better and best. And in these purposes, I think that we should play into that. There are times when that becomes gets a little overzealous, and I think it can be dangerous in other ways. But for these purposes, I think that we need to fuel that. I think when we take the chance and we use our desire and our curiosity and our love to fuel that fearlessness, and to fuel those endeavors, I think that's really nourishing our soul. Those deep-seated passions that really, really light our fire. But sometimes we just kind of dull them down and try to subdue them or stifle them or dilute them. Those are the things that will never be silenced completely. They'll never burn out. And I think that we need to actively strive to keep those satiated and buoyant, and we need to want to be full of life and full of gratitude for the multitude of opportunities that can be available when we completely take advantage. Sometimes I just struggle so much with why we hold ourselves back. I mean, I consider myself to be an ambitious, driven person, but I have no trouble blaming circumstance for keeping me from what I know isn't really inhibited by circumstance. Like, yes, I may be this very passionate person, and I may have very large goals and aim high and have these deep-seated desires, but I, just like anyone else, am so quick to just blame it on not enough time, not enough, resources, not enough whatever it is. But I know that that's not really the case, because if I had truly decided to jump, then I would find a way. They say jump and the net will appear. And maybe this is just one of those cases, because it's really not that I don't have the time or the money or the resources. It's probably because it's not a priority, I've tried replacing that phrase in my life. Instead of saying I don't have time for that, saying it's not a priority, and seeing how that feels, and that changes it, because that really sets in place what my priorities currently are, and maybe those need to be altered. It's not enough of a priority to warrant my wholehearted efforts, because if it warranted my wholehearted efforts, you better believe I would get it accomplished. I would do the thing that I need to do. Maybe we're all just seeking opportunity when we really need to be mustering courage. Again, maybe we're all seeking opportunity when we need to be mustering courage. Now, what I'm saying is, how can opportunity serve us when we haven't yet accepted the responsibility of meeting that opportunity? It can't, why would opportunity knock if we are too preoccupied to even answer the door? These are all things that were hitting me really, really hard. If we continue allowing or enabling ourselves to fight fear with distraction, we are just building guardrails around our own existence. And those terrifying thoughts of doing the thing that we need to do that is also enticing, that is just sustaining that feeling of fear around that thing.